Hey Sycamores, welcome to your terrifying tour by Michael Winstead. I am going to take you guys on a tour of all things haunted here on the campus of Indiana State University. We are making our first stop at Burford Hall. Burford Hall, it's got a couple of different stories. First, the story of Barfing Barb. Probably a story that most of you are familiar with, but it gets a little deeper. The story goes, sometime in the 1970s, a student was out, night full of drinking with her friends. Things led to another, and she ended up on the bathroom floor by herself all night. Turns out she died of alcohol poisoning. Now, fast forward to present day. Students in Burford Hall, from the 4th floor up, have been known to hear what sounds like people throwing up, people knocking on doors, people running down the hall. Is it the ghost of a former student? Or is it just an old building doing what old buildings do? Your guess is as good as mine. Another story with Burford Hall is the story of Charlotte Burford, who Burford Hall is named after. Charlotte Burford was the female dean of students for nearly 5 decades at Indiana State University. Well, some say her spirit hasn't quite left. In the halls of Burford, there is a portrait of Charlotte that some students believe her eyes don't leave you if you walk past her, especially the female students, because she was a dean of female students. That is our first stop of Burford Hall. We have Barfing Barb and Charlotte Burford. Let's keep going. Our next stop takes us to a place where, if you're a freshman here at Indiana State, odds are you probably live in these buildings. First, right behind us, we have Cromwell Hall. Cromwell is a story that a lot of Indiana State people know about, especially if you've ever driven on 41 or 3rd Street here in town. The story goes, up on the 12th floor of Cromwell Hall, we had a student that just couldn't handle the stress of his academics. The student decided to take his own life. The room specifically is room 1212. In that room, students have been known to hear knocking, pounding, running up and down, things even being thrown at them, things being thrown off the wall. Again, is it more than just a student or a person playing a prank? Something to think about. Our next one takes us to Rhodes Hall. Rhodes Hall is a similar story to what we have at Cromwell Hall. Rhodes Hall, instead of being a student though, it's a construction worker. This construction worker, during the original construction of the towers here at Indiana State University, fell to his untimely death. Much like Cromwell Hall, students have been known to hear pounding, screaming, yelling, especially the higher up they go. And that's the story of Rhodes Hall here at Indiana State University. Our next stop takes us to a place where maybe more than learning happens. Our second to last stop here on the terrifying tour takes us to Dreiser Hall, a building here on the campus of Indiana State University that a lot of communication and theater majors are pretty familiar with. Theater majors especially have heard of the story of the ghost named Karen. Karen was a theater major here at Indiana State. Karen came to an untimely death in a car accident off of campus. It's said that Karen's spirit, though, still lives here on campus. Specifically, Karen is said to have been a lighting major in the theater department. Sometimes, if you're in a production inside of the Dreiser Hall Theater, the lights are known to flicker, and students in the lighting booth are known to get cold chills sometimes during productions. Is this just them being chilly? Or is it something a little bit more terrifying? Our last stop on the terrifying tour isn't necessarily terrifying. This plaque right here has since been renovated, but when it was here in its inception, there was actually a typo on this plaque, and it said as some sort of magician's code, magician's law, that if a student would come up here and touch this mistake on this plaque right here, they were said to have good luck on an exam or an upcoming event that maybe they were nervous about. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Terrifying Tour. Back to you guys in the studio.